ready to dive deep into something incredible.
Always up for a challenge. What you got?
Today, it's Dyson Spheres.
Wow. Those hypothetical megastructures,
Yeah.
the ones built around stars.
Yeah, the ones harnessing all that energy.
Definitely sci-fi level stuff.
But the crazy thing is,
Yeah.
it came from a physicist.
Really?
Yeah, Freeman Dyson. The name's familiar, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. But I always thought it was pure science fiction.
Well, the idea is, but the starting point was a real physicist.
It's amazing to think about the scale. Like,
Yeah.
even the Death Star looked tiny compared to a Dyson Sphere.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But what's even more fascinating to me is what it says about a civilization. Like,
Oh, like their capabilities?
exactly. How do we even begin to, like,
Categorize them.
yeah, like if they could build something that massive.
Well, that's where the Kardashev scale comes in.
Oh, right, the Kardashev scale.
Yeah, it ranks civilizations by how much energy they use.
So, like, what, there are levels?
Yeah, you got Type I. They can use all the energy of their planet.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's where we're headed, as a species.
Right.
Then there's Type II. Those are the Dyson Sphere builders.
Because they're harnessing their star's energy, right?
The whole thing. And then there's the big leagues.
Oh, wow. What's that?
Type III, they use a whole galaxy's worth of energy.
A whole galaxy.
Yeah.
That's just showing off at that point.
Totally.
But, okay, let's stick with Type 2 for now. Those Dyson Spheres.
All right, back down to Earth. Well,
Kind of, yeah.
but to
Yeah.
the stars.
Okay, yeah, the Dyson Spheres. What kind of designs are we talking about here?
I mean, you see all sorts in movies and stuff.
Oh, I know, right? Some pretty wild ones out there.
The most famous is the Dyson shell.
The solid one.
Yeah, a whole sphere around the star. Like, picture a giant eggshell, but futuristic.
Around the sun. Whoa.
But honestly, let's be real.
Okay.
A solid shell that has some massive problems.
Like what?
The gravity alone, pulling it inwards, you'd need crazy strong materials.
Yeah, like stronger than anything we've got.
It'd be like, I don't know, a skyscraper made of jelly.
Something like that just wouldn't work.
So what are some designs that...
It could actually work.
Yeah.
Well, the Dyson Swarm's probably the most doable.
A swarm.
Yeah, it's loads of satellites, like thousands, millions even.
Orbiting the star.
Exactly. Collecting energy like a huge network of space solar panels.
So, like, you just keep launching them one by one.
That's the idea, slowly building it over time.
Interesting. What about the Dyson ring? Isn't that kind of similar?
Oh, yeah, the ring's like a simpler swarm. Think of it as...
Like a starter kit.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of a full sphere, it's just a ring around the star capturing energy.
Okay, so with those, it's starting to seem like, well...
Possible.
Yeah, theoretically possible.
Right. It's cool to think about.
What about the Dyson bubble? That always seemed kind of elegant to me.
The bubble. It's super thin solar sails held up by the star's radiation.
Radiation pressure. Yeah, basically, even light pushes a little bit. It has momentum.
Oh, right.
The bubble would use that, tons of sails catching the light.
Like a cosmic web almost.
Exactly. But still,
Yeah.
building something that big and delicate, still a huge challenge.
Makes you realize how much we don't know.
Right. About engineering, physics, even like...
Reality itself.
Exactly. But even if we knew everything...
There'd still be problems.
Well, yeah. I mean, why don't we have a Dyson Sphere now?
That's a good question. I mean, the possibilities, they're...
Endless.
Yeah. Why aren't we building one already?
Well, first of all, think about the materials.
Oh, yeah.
You'd need more than all the planets in our solar system.
And bind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would we even get that much stuff?
That's true. Asteroid mining wouldn't.
Not even close. We have to dismantle planets.
Whoa, really?
Just to get enough material. Talk about extreme.
Yeah, that's intense. But, okay, let's say we did that somehow.
All right, then what?
Well, wouldn't the whole thing be super unstable?
Oh, yeah, the gravity. A Dyson Sphere would be under insane forces.
It'd just collapse, right?
Pretty much. You'd need crazy engineering to keep it stable.
So it's not just about the building, it's about, like...
Fighting the universe itself.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like balancing a pencil on its point, but,
Cosmic scale.
Exactly. And even if we solved that, then there's the energy.
Oh, right, like how do we get it back to Earth?
Right. Would it be wireless? Giant space cables.
Sounds tricky.
Daunting is putting it mildly.
So we're not just talking engineering challenges here, right?
What do you mean?
It's bigger than that. Almost like...
Existential problems.
Yeah, exactly. Makes you wonder,
What?
is a Dyson Sphere even worth it?
Worth it.
Yeah. I mean, all this trouble, why bother?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Why bother with all this?
Oh, why go through all that effort?
Because the payoff is huge. Like, imagine almost unlimited energy.
No more fossil fuels or anything.
Gone. No more energy crises. We could power, I don't know,
Everything.
literally
It's
everything.
hard to even imagine what we could do with that much power.
Seriously, like, we could finally solve climate change. For real.
Wow.
Desalinate the oceans. Clean water for everyone.
That'd be incredible.
Even terraforming Mars, that's on the table.
And that's just, what? Good beginning.
Just scratching the surface. It's like
I'm
settling.
having $1 billion.
More than that. The possibilities are endless.
Wow. What about space travel? Would that change?
Oh, absolutely. Interstellar travel becomes, well,
Possible.
easy. With that much energy, we could reach distant stars.
We can visit other solar systems?
Colonies on new planets, it's all within reach.
It's mind-blowing going from exploring our little solar system to...
A whole galaxy.
It's almost too much to think about. What about, like, computers and stuff?
Oh, the computing power would be off the charts. Think super AI.
Way beyond what we have now.
Way beyond. Complex simulations we could solve, I don't know,
Any problem.
practically. We could even simulate entire universes.
Simulating universes, now that's getting pretty meta.
Right.
But it does make you think all this, it's almost,
Godlike.
yeah, like, what would that even do to humanity?
To be that advanced.
Yeah, would we even be human anymore?
That's a big question, one we can only guess at.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, honestly.
It is, but I think it's important to remember that
What?
technology is a tool, it's how we use it.
Oh, right, like, it could be good or bad.
Exactly. A Dyson Sphere wouldn't just, poof, solve everything.
We'd still have problems.
Of course. We'd still be human with all our flaws.
Conflict, greed, all that.
It wouldn't erase that. It'd just give us more power.
And more responsibility.
A lot more. We'd have to
Yeah.
really look at ourselves.
Our values, our goals, all that.
Yeah, the big questions. But hey, even though we're not building one,
Right, not anytime soon.
there are things that could,
Make it more likely.
yeah, future tech that could help bridge the gap.
Like what? What could get us closer to a Dyson Sphere?
Well, one big one is self-replicating robots.
Like robots that build more robots.
Exactly. Imagine an army of them in space, mining, building.
Without us having to do anything.
Well, we'd have to program them, but yeah.
That's still pretty wild.
It'd be like 3D printing on a massive scale.
Space construction, that's got to be important too.
Absolutely. We can't launch everything from Earth. It's too expensive.
So build stuff in space.
Exactly. Manufacture materials, assemble components, all in orbit.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What about energy? How would we power all this
Well, fusion would be huge.
if we can figure it out?
But if we could, that's the power source for a Dyson Sphere.
And nanotechnology, right? That seems important.
Totally. We'd need super strong, lightweight materials. Nanotech could do that.
So we're talking about like
A bunch of different technologies.
all coming together.
Exactly. To make the impossible possible.
But still that solid shell, the Dyson shell,
Yeah.
it's hard to imagine.
The scale is just too much.
Yeah, it's daunting.
You're right. A solid shell might be centuries away.
Or longer, right?
Maybe even millennia. But remember,
Wait.
we don't have to build it all at once.
Oh, right. We could start small
Exactly. Maybe that Dyson ring we talked about.
and just keep adding to it,
Over generations, it'd be a long-term project.
like building a cathedral.
But in space.
Exactly. It's amazing to think about.
It really shows that Dyson Spheres aren't just about...
Technology,
Well, that's a big part, but it's also about...
vision,
Yeah, and collaboration, working together.
towards a future we might not even see.
Exactly, a commitment to something bigger than ourselves.
It is humbling, thinking about all this.
What do you mean?
Well, we're down here worrying about our daily lives.
Yeah.
And then there's this massive concept
The Dyson Sphere.
that makes everything seem so small
In a way it does. But it's also inspiring. It shows what we're capable of.
that we could achieve something so incredible.
Exactly. It's a reminder of our potential.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the big picture.
It does, doesn't it? And even if we never actually build one,
A Dyson Sphere?
yeah, just thinking about it,
What can inspire us?
to push our limits, to see what's possible.
Exactly. It opens up the mind.
And makes you realize how much potential we have.
So if you had to sum it all up,
Like one key takeaway for everyone listening,
yeah, what would it be?
I'd say it's the sheer audacity of the idea.
Audacity.
Yeah, like the boldness, the scale.
It is pretty wild.
Dyson Spheres, they're like the ultimate energy use,
Harnessing an entire star.
Yeah, it's almost hard to grasp the concept itself.
It's like, why bother with little solar panels when you could have...
the whole sun.
Exactly. And, I mean, it seems impossible now, but a lot of things we have now were once impossible.
True. Who knows what we'll discover in the future?
Maybe Dyson Spheres will be normal someday.
Like smartphones are now. Can you imagine?
That'd be pretty incredible.
And maybe someone listening right now
Yeah.
will be the one to make it happen.
To figure out how to build a Dyson Sphere.
That'd be something.
So to everyone out there, keep learning about this stuff.
Look up pictures, read more about it.
Let your imagination go wild.
It's a topic that really captures, well,
Why?
our curiosity, our ambition,
That desire to understand the universe.
and where we fit into it.
It's a big question.
But that's what makes it so fascinating.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. To everyone listening, keep looking up.
And keep dreaming big.
We'll see you next time.